Hello and welcome to PlayStation Access. My name is Holly and today I'm talking about Anthem. Now, we saw a little bit of Anthem at E3 and we made some videos with some of the new information we had found, but very recently I had my first chance to actually speak to somebody from BioWare. So here's everything I learned, and fingers crossed there is something in this that you didn't already know. We already know that the story can be done in either single or multiplayer, but the difficulty will scale. Now, this is broken into two camps. There's a difficulty for 1 to 2 players and then a separate difficulty for 3 to 4 players. The game will have online matchmaking and the ability to just play with friends if you want, and there will be a way in-game to see sort of who's online and then just simply add them into your party or to join them. However, they've tried to remove some of that difficulty for finding players who are online by adding the reinforcement system. If you're online, you can open up the map and see what other players are doing, and if they need help and they have space in their party, you can join as a reinforcement to help them, and by doing this you'll also gain extra rewards as an incentive. Now, this is also seen in games like Monster Hunter, but in Monster Hunter there is a time limit on gaining those additional rewards. But at the moment, BioWare is still balancing this because they sort of feel that putting a time limit on getting extra rewards would actively discourage players from joining, and they don't want that. They want you to go and help people. Once you're done helping someone as a reinforcement, that party will then disband once it's over, but if you were playing with friends, for example, you'd remain in a party. Also, just in case you're wondering, this is one giant world map, so it's not like Dragon Age Inquisition where it's several large maps that all piece together, or in games like Destiny where you travel to different planets. It's one massive world map. Now, the map also has 2 main hub worlds. You've got a mobile base known as your Strider, which you've actually seen the Javelin launch from during their E3 footage, and a main hub world known as Fort Tarsis. Now, you can launch your Javelin and join missions from either the mobile base or from Fort Tarsis, and they're private spaces for you to spend as little or as much time as you like, so they're not populated with other online players. Now, Fort Tarsis is a mix of old world and sci-fi blended together, and here you can explore the different areas. For example, the freelancers will have their own HQ, there'll be markets as well as NPCs for you to talk to. Now, interestingly, when you return to the hub world, you'll never be launched straight into story stuff. If you want to trigger this, you'll need to find the MP or the quest line. Now, to me, I think that's kind of important because if I'm playing with a group of friends, I might just want to pop back, check my loot, resupply my Javelin and pop back out again for a new mission. When you're playing with friends, especially if you're a little bit further behind in the story, there's always that pressure of them wanting to carry on the game while you're sat there watching 5-10 minutes worth of story. Now, you don't have to worry about that. Unsurprisingly, you'll also be popping back to your hub world to pick up your side quests, and BioWare want to make sure you have a reason to keep coming back, because they want you to invest in the NPCs and the world around it in what they call their Elder game. There will be ongoing quests to pick up, but they don't just want you running up to a notice board and pulling down quests to keep you going. They want more interaction than that. Now, there is still an option to build relationships in Anthem, allowing you to get to know your crew and those in the fort. That's kind of part of the experience, but it's not going to be like Mass Effect or Dragon Age. How you talk to and interact with people does have some impact, but they really don't want to oversell it. Now, on top of that, there also won't be the traditional BioWare dialogue wheel, but there will be dialogue choices. BioWare also want to create a very rich world, so they're looking at different ways to supply the lore for Anthem. Now, you'll be able to talk to NPCs and discover items like the Arcanist Ruins or the Arcanist Resonance. There'll also be objects hidden in the world map for you to discover, and at different locations on the map will also have their own bits and pieces for you to find. The world events that you've seen in Final Fantasy XIV, we actually call these fates, these are dynamic. So they've said you will not always have the same creatures spawn in the same place every time, just to mix it up. And we already know that there's weather and a day-night cycle, but different enemies can appear at different times because they feel this will also give them some freedom in the future with things they might want to add in. Now, finally, when it comes to customization, it's sort of all about the Javelins and their chassis. Different gear slots are on each Javelin. Now, some of these are active and some of these are passive, and you can choose how you want to build them out, and some of those things you can place in there have different rarities. Yes, RNG and loot, our favorite things. Now, you can also personalize it with things like different colors and materials, and add different adornments such as chest plates and helmets, which will change sort of the aesthetic and the silhouette of your Javelin, but these are all cosmetics. So you don't have to, you know, sacrifice your appearance just to have a higher defense. I mean, really, who does that anyway? Well, there you go. That's a few little more bits of information I've been able to pull out of a quick chat with someone from BioWare very recently. If you want to see our original video, which is also packed with information, you can click the link. But please don't forget to hit that notification bell so you always know when we're setting new videos live.
For the players.